Alright, market's been open for a couple minutes now. And so far we're not going anywhere.
Order canceled.
Alright, so far we're kind of just chopping around. We made a little attempt at pushing the highs. Then we kind of slapped down to the lows, but instantly got rejected back to the middle of the range. We're at these EMAs. So I'm definitely a little curious to see what happens. We could be forming a flag, potentially.
Order submitted.
I don't mind this. If we take out 28, get a little push up, potentially.
Order filled.
Had the wrong order up there. So I get stopped out anyways. Kind of went right through my order. Looks like we're back in profit. Well, barely. Go break
Target
even
filled.
and target filled. Let's go. That was a close one. We almost didn't get filled there. Kind of went straight through my order. Almost didn't fill me. But then it came back, got me. Almost stopped me out. But then we had that breakout we were looking for. Yeah, good bull flag. Good setup. Held up these EMAs really well. This wick. This is definitely encouraging. Seeing this big wick from the downside above these EMAs. And then the little setup when we broke out of it. It was a little messy in here. A little choppy at first. But the setup still worked out. Looks like we were rejected right off of the, what is that, Asia low? Almost like to the tick. Well, it looks like we might be making our way down now, potentially. One more day till payout. Let's go. That's what we like to hear. Price match choppy, holy. Yeah, pretty much. Luckily we had this little breakout with a bull flag, which we got paid on. But besides this, I mean, we rejected the highs instantly, and we're kind of just sticking in this range. Actually, in Asia, a little weird. Let's take a look back. Oh yeah, we had quite the chop in Asia, yeah. And then finally started kind of trending down during London. A little bit better. Do you think it has anything to do with no news? Probably. It is Veterans Day in America. The markets are still open. And they don't close early or anything like that. But it definitely could be affecting the volatility in the trading. Which means it might be a kind of a relatively boring day because people might be I don't know, do people celebrate Veterans Day? I mean, I know I like, what's the term? I like recognize it, you know, and obviously it's important. But I don't know if people like go on holiday or anything like that. I did ask one of my siblings and they said that there is school today, so. Not exactly sure how it'll affect the market. It might not. But yeah, there's not any other news either. And typically no news days are a little choppy. Or they're trendy, but they're really slow trend. Either way, they're not the best to trade. I've noticed typically I have losing days on no news Mondays specifically. But even other days, I gotta be a little careful. At least with some of my older strategies. With this one though, it's not too bad. Catch quick little 12 points. It's not too bad. Still a little bit more risky though compared to a normal day with more volatility and news. Yeah, really struggling to get out of this range. We had this wick down, then the wick up. It looks like we're trying to push the lows here now, but we're still just wicking away from them. Not the prettiest, not gonna lie. Yeah, we're getting back below the 9-minute EMA on the 15-minute chart. It's kind of a bear flag as well, so we actually could be breaking out to the downside now. Based off that. I guess we're kind of making our way back up though, but you could kind of see that playing out here. We have a minute and a half until the 15-minute range is set. That's where these white lines are. And we might be able to get a retest off one of those levels. We'll break and retest. Looks like we do have CPI and PPI later this week, Thursday and Friday. And that could definitely be a little more impactful as far as news goes. So it might be a little bit slower today and tomorrow, kind of in anticipation of that. But we'll see, we'll see. We did take these lows. We kind of have a downtrend of sorts on the 1 minute. Could be a bear flag, but I think I've said this before. I'm not like super strict on it, I don't think. But when you have a bear flag like this, like it's like, okay, we have like the lows that we're setting up. But when we don't have a wick on the one of the candles, like that means this candle didn't try and go down at all. I don't know. I don't know if it necessarily means anything, but like it's a very bullish candle because there's no wick down, you know? So like I don't know if it'd be the cleanest or I don't know if it's my favorite just because of the lack of wick on the bottom. I don't know. Yeah, this week I'd be a little bit conservative. But I do find I actually trade pretty decently during like CPI and PPI. I remember when I was first getting into trading, it was kind of like, oh yeah, like just don't trade CPI, PPI, FOMC, those kind of things. And I still don't trade FOMC. Because that's like, once it happens and it's kind of crazy. But I still trade FOMC days, kind of. I'm just a little bit more conservative, like you said. But usually CPI and PPI happen an hour before market open. And usually like, it's enough time has passed, so once the market opens, it's a little bit more volatile. But I find that the price action is pretty decent with the volatility, if that makes sense. It's usually not like, oh, bad price action, or like, usually it's not super choppy. That being said, I think I have traded a day that was like CPI or something, and it might have been a little choppy, but typically they're not as choppy. Expect a chop day today. Yeah, we're kind of talking about that just with like lack of news today and tomorrow, and with like CPI and PPI coming up Thursday and Friday. But your analysis of ES is also very accurate. Yeah, ever since open, we've been a little choppy. We keep kind of trying to break out higher, lower, but we're kind of just failing. Luckily, caught the nice little scalp here. Little push up, nice and quick. But it was short-lived. Did not continue to move higher. 15-minute range is set, so let's see if we can get out of it. Maybe make another little move, but I definitely would expect a little bit of chop as well today. For many reasons. Yeah, so far it seems to be pretty accurate with the chop prediction. Yeah, your own experience. I feel like I've noticed it as well, even like on smaller time frames a little bit. Kind of like when you see something like this where we try and take the highs, right? Or you could call it kind of like the momentum up, and then the momentum down. Or how I put it is like, okay, we tried to go up, we failed. Tried to go down, and we kind of failed. You can kind of expect a little bit of chop after something like that. Or you can look at it kind of like through the manipulation of like orders and liquidity and stuff. Like we basically stopped out a bunch of sellers up here, took all these stop losses, and then we just took out a lot of stop losses down here for all the people that are trying to go long up here, which then leaves the market indecisive, both the buyers and sellers a little bit afraid. But if we can kind of break through these levels, might get out of the chop. Okay, you wait to join until you're done. That's smart. Okay, so we're potentially going to have a nice close below these levels for retest. Question is, do we take the retest at the cheaper spot right here?
Order submitted.
Probably. That wasn't a good close below. Chopper dump. Yeah, the dump could be a thing too. ES is lagging behind a little bit. It hasn't quite taken out the 1 minute lows yet. Okay, it just did. Alright, we'll see if we can close below here, and then we'll move our order down. Right there. We gotta wait until 20 seconds. Candle close. Because if it just wicks back up here, I
Order canceled.
don't know if I want that. Seeing a lot of buyers coming up on Delta. I don't know if I want to sell into this wick. Could still be a decent retest. Actually, no. Look, you see how close we got to it, and then we already got the rejection. If it comes back up to it, it's probably going to blow through.
Order submitted.
Just as an example, that's what I'll typically look for with the retest. If we wick, get close, don't hit it, and then we make the move down. If it comes back up,
Order canceled.
it's probably not going to work. Still might. But when it gets close enough like that, doesn't get it, I'm not gonna try my luck. I think one of my trades I lost on Friday, or one of the days last week, was that exact situation. So a little unfortunate. It happened pretty quickly, so I didn't have like a lot of time to react to give myself a little credit. But yeah, I basically just missed it by like a little couple points, maybe half a point, and then it moved away just enough that like I probably would have gone break even if I was in the trade. But like I just waited a second because I was like, I might come back and it might work out, and it did come back, but then it went right through my stop. So if I was more disciplined, I would have been like, oh, well, we missed it by a little bit, made a little move. Therefore, I'm taking the order off. Yeah, I was going to say, could dump, and that kind of does depend on how we react in this area right here, right? We take the lows out, maybe we find some retests off the 15-minute range low, or some of these other lows like the London low, Asia low. But the fact that we have these two wicks, and they're kind of trying to make the move back up, would be very, very telling for the chop. Yeah, exactly. If the momentum picks up to the downside, shorts could be nice. Yeah, I might stay away from trading momentum today. I still want to keep an eye on it. Or like, let's see. Where's my region highlight? Still might keep an eye on it for like the practice account, but I see what you're saying. Like when we got the chop signs on the higher time frames. Don't want to be trading momentum when there might not be any. I know these wicks are kind of crazy. It looks like it wants to go down, and then it just like wicks back up consistently. But also, it's wicking back down too, so I don't really know what's going on. I am glad we broke out of this little range earlier, because that is helpful. We're still not really doing anything with it. Not in the same way. I appreciate trading in some ways, maybe even many. But yeah, sometimes price action and just everything going on, like it can be frustrating. Sometimes it lasts like almost weeks. Like I can't remember, it might have been September or August, but one of those months was like just really slow for like how I was trading and the strategies I was looking for. And man, it was like an endurance test of endurance. That's true. You dislike it even when it's good, which is fair. It can be quite the experience. Just like emotionally, mentally, or even just like the process. Like I think you've talked about just like the idea of how you can make money clicking buttons or something like that. Oh, here's that push up. Definitely probably gonna be a bit choppy. Oh, the 15-minute candle is ugly. Let me look at that wick. Zero body. This is just... It's rough. It's rough. Right back above the EMA. So much for this, unless we move it back up to the up here. Okay, yeah, I don't think trading is 100% the right activity for me. Rather, I have the tool set to be good at it. Yeah, that makes sense. One of my buddies, he's kind of in the category I would consider like not he shouldn't be trading necessarily. I think he could if he like learned the strategy and really like focused on his discipline and getting those tools like that you talked about. But he has like I think it's referred to as like addictive personality disorder or something like that. I can't remember, but like that mixed with some other things, ADHD, some like trading just is not exactly it's not exactly meant for someone like him. And it'd be very easy for him to lose a lot of money or just like get on the wrong side of trading because of different reasons. But he could still probably figure it out if he really like wanted to make it work. And he still followed, the right strategy and used the right tools. But yeah, it definitely isn't for everybody. Especially like I just think about ADHD in general. And like if you can't sit still and be patient and watch these candles even when they don't do anything, like this chop or whatever, or even this, it's like, what am I supposed to do? It's super easy to get bored. I mean, I get bored, and sometimes I'll like, scroll on my phone or obviously play some games and stuff. But yeah, for some people, definitely not it. I remember one of my dad's friends, he actually had a brother. Apparently, he trades like options, and he's like pretty successful with that. I did try and talk to him and learn a little bit from him, but I just never. I didn't end up learning as much as I thought, and he kind of just redirected me to like some website with some information, which was like good stuff. But I was kind of hoping to actually learn a thing or two from him, but it's okay. It's whatever. But apparently, dad's friend, who's his brother or brother-in-law or something like that, he basically learned from him, or basically just kind of got the strategy and what to do. And he's like, oh yeah, like all I had to do is like get on and like follow the steps. If I see this, I do this type of thing, make the trades. And he's like, yeah, it's super easy to like just make a bunch of money. But he just kind of like you, he just like would rather be doing something else. And he'd get like pretty bored. And he's just like, he said like it would drive him crazy, like just kind of waiting. And like all those things. But he's like, besides that though, it's like pretty easy. Like you tell me what to do and I'd make a bunch of money. So it's like kind of cool. But like he clearly decided like trading is not for him. Like he'd rather be doing stuff with his hands. He'd rather be out there. Like I think he owns a contracting business or something like that. And he's got a couple of cool projects going on, so he like that's what he does. That's what he likes. But look at AAPL. Oh, stocks is way better than futures. That makes sense, especially with just like good companies, just like Apple, obviously. Like, it's a good company. They're gonna have their ups and downs occasionally, but pretty consistently they're probably just gonna kind of go up, I imagine. A little bit better momentum, and they're more traditional. They've been around for a long time, so they probably follow some of the market momentum and trends a little bit better. Everyone hates when I say trading is easy. Yeah, it's funny because I'd agree like with both. I'd say like, yeah, it's easy, but also I'd say like, oh, it's really hard because only 1% of traders actually are profitable. Like 99% of traders fail or like blow up accounts. Right. Like the actions itself is like so easy. It's like you click some buttons. Look, for some, the process can be pretty difficult and challenging to get there, or it just takes a bit of time. But yeah, if you're like adopting like a strategy from a successful, profitable trader, like, that's the one thing like I don't quite have is like I don't know anyone personally that trades that's like, hey, do this and you make money. Because if I had someone who just like put me down on a computer and said like, okay, when it does this, click buy. When it does this, click sell. And like maybe explain it, maybe not. But honestly, like if he just didn't explain it, I probably wouldn't overthink it. I'd probably just do what he told me to do. And like that'd be so easy, I think. Being a first forerunner, figuring it out is incredibly difficult. Yeah. And that's where I've kind of been. Like there's plenty of YouTube videos, but like you can only take so much, like take a grain of salt from each one. And like you still have to try your own things and see what works for you. And yeah, I mean it's been a journey. It's been a journey. But yeah, what I would have given to have just a mentor that like I know is not BSing me like some of the YouTube guys with their, 90% win rate, ICT strategy or whatever. It's like I'm sure the strategies work sometimes. I don't want to bash on all the strategies out there, the YouTubers, but a lot of them are just trying to make content, sell courses, different things. But just, yeah, having someone who actually I knew was like making a living off trading, very profitable, all those kind of things. That's kind of where I would be like, okay, this is more legit. And I could see it firsthand. And then if he just tells me like, oh yeah, just do this. All right, I'll do that. I don't think a mentor would have been good enough for me, TVH. Sometimes you do need a little bit more. Need a little bit more. Sometimes mentors do try and like help you learn things for yourself or figure them out, which is good normally. But yeah, I think with trading, you almost would want someone to basically just tell you exactly what to do. Oh, okay, you don't think it would have been good for you in that way because you would have figured out how to make money too quickly, consistently, and then you would have gone bored sooner. I gotcha. Okay, we're kind of slapping a little bit. Bit of sellers coming in. That's true though. If you're following your strategy to a T, technically, might as well just make a bot. But I have heard people that like have a lot more experience in time trading than me. That like it's still not quite that simple. I kind of want to do this retest, but I also don't know if I trust this move down. Because sometimes when we slap down like that, either we continue slapping or we undo the progress of the slap just as quickly as we made it. So we either go down without me or we just go right back up.
Order submitted.
But I think it might not be a bad, like off these lows, might not be a bad little retest. Yeah, well, definitely different, like, different field outside of trading. I guess what I mean, though, by what I was started to kind of say, is like, obviously they don't know much about, like, making bots necessarily. But they've, like, tried or they've, like, paid people to do that or something. I don't know. I'd have to look into it a little bit more because I don't know exactly what they have and haven't done.
Order filled.
Okay, we'll see how this goes. Okay, that's good enough. Well, quick break even there. We don't want to risk it popping back up into the range. We got a reaction.
Stop filled.
That's fine. That's fine. But yeah, it was a YouTuber who was talking about it and just how like automating his strategy. And he said basically like the market just changes enough that you end up spending all your time adjusting the bot with like the strategy. So you're almost putting just as much work into adjusting the bot as you would normally do like making the trades. So we kind of pointed out how like at that point you might as well just trade yourself. And something about just like how the strategy's like if you follow the same rules constantly, yeah, like it just doesn't work forever. You have to constantly adjust like little things, but again, that's just what he said. I don't know much about bots and things, but something like support and resistance level, how much should a bot risk? I'd say probably just based off the ATR, which I get. That's probably a pretty easy thing to kind of automate. So that's where I'd agree with you. It's like I don't see why you couldn't kind of automate things based off indicators and things. Like okay, you have the ATR, which tells us kind of the rough volatility, which can help adjust the risk. And then you have like moving averages and like support and resistance and things, which probably not that hard for a bot to find and make trades based off of. So like that's right, it's kind of already is like at least with momentum, it kind of already is a dynamic strategy just because it is incorporating like volume and momentum and ATR and stuff. That's true. That's true. This could be a bear flag. I just don't know how I feel about taking a trade like right in between these two levels of support. Might work out here. I'm gonna say if I do take it, I'd probably go break even once we hit this, but I just don't know about that. We don't have a ton of sellers on volume. Yeah, increase ATR also increases the risk per trade. So if you use ATR to adjust your stops, if it increases and your strat loses, you take massive losses. Yeah, that is facts. Definitely got to be careful of that. Because that would be something that would be nice. Even like if I still execute the trades myself, not like a bot, but just having like some sort of indicator or something that would basically like auto adjust my risk based off like ATR, but also like contract size. Like if the ATR is a 30, I trade 5 contracts to adjust my risk to like, okay, we're twice as volatile. I'll adjust my risk. So like I'm trading the right amount of contracts for the volatility. So I don't have to like do the math or like think about it. So that I can adjust my stop wider, but still be risking the same amount. Just kind of like automatically. It'd be convenient mostly. Yeah, that makes sense. You definitely need to know all the ins and outs of your strategy. Up, down, indeed. Yeah, look at those wicks. It's like we wicked all the way back up, and then we wicked up here, and then we wicked down here, wicked back up here. That was some great price action. Yeah, looks like the bear flag. We would probably gonna stop that break even off this wick, but eventually it would have worked out. Hypothetically, it's just not worth the risk to me. Yeah, those are all super important questions to ask. How much money do you give it? What platform are you using? Are you overtrading or over optimizing? Is the risk too large? Exactly. Yeah, I think there's still some firms that do allow it. But also, if I were to automate my strategy almost kind of like one-to-one with how I trade, and if I could somehow make the bot only take like 2-3 trades a day, maybe 4, 5, 8 at the most, something like that, I don't think like any firms would flag that. Like obviously if you had a bot that's executing like the high frequency, like, you know, many trades per like minute or second, then obviously that's gonna get flagged. But if you had like just a bot that like kind of again like looked for us to break certain levels, like this, right? It's like, oh, if this candle closes below this level by a certain amount and then comes back and retests it, right? You're only gonna make that trade like 5 times a day, maybe max. Especially if you say, okay, once it happens once, you don't do it again. Or like all the little details of the strategy. I doubt like firms would even be able to know that you have a bot because it'll just look like it's trading normal. I think they only can tell if it's a bot if it's just like executing like really high level trades at like on like the 15-second chart or even like tick based charts. Like, ask anyone who supposedly have a bot how much they would have a trade to pass. Yeah, I wouldn't know. Because it does seem like a lot of bots do trade pretty high, like on the higher end. As far as just like trades throughout the day. And maybe that's why most of them would get flagged and wouldn't be allowed with firms. But yeah, if you had like a simple support and resistance bot and you stuck it on like the 5-minute chart or something like that, you're probably not going to be like making too many trades in a day. But maybe they said people that have bots, to pass their accounts quickly, you would need to trade like a lot more per day or whatever. Oh, I didn't know you could cheat with the high frequency. That's interesting. Does that mean if you had the high frequency, can you only cheat through like the prop firms? Or is it just like what do you mean by cheat? I'm kinda interested or curious. Because if it was just like more effective, would that mean if you got one and you had your own funds to trade like a live account, would it just like work really well? Okay, because on Sim you can technically beat the broker to the prices. Front running. Okay, that makes sense. That's interesting though. That makes sense though why they banned them, because that obviously would be unrealistic and unfair and easy money. This is rigged action at its finest. Not natural. Call that the rigged curve setup. It's definitely not great. Definitely not great. We are kind of trending down. But yeah, this like move up here, that's what's killer right there. Because you take out these previous highs, and then you come back and take out the lows. And then you like start making this move back up. Luckily it did hold and continue lower, but that's where it can be very tricky and where I'd consider it more rigged. Kind of like we had earlier. We take the highs out, Then we take the lows out. Right, you stop people up or stop people out up here and down here. Luckily, I mean, when it does just kind of holds the trend like this and then go down, it's like, okay, we took out the lows, we made a lower high, and then we made lower lows. But then we made higher highs and then lower lows. That's where it gets rigged. And that's where you're just basically stopping people out. Because everyone who got short down here with the downtrend, they all got stopped out right here. There's a stop loss right there somewhere. Maybe up here. They got stopped out. And then a bunch of people are now bullish, so they start buying. Maybe they wait for this pullback, right? But still, somewhere in here they're buying, expecting it to bounce and make a higher low. But instead, they get stopped out down here. So now, buyers and sellers are stopped out. And that's where it gets ugly. It would have been uglier if this move up here went and took out these highs again. If it just went straight through there, stopped them out. But so far it does seem to be kind of holding and going lower. But yeah, it's pretty ugly regardless. No hedging either. Yep. It's kind of just waiting around, see if anything happens here. At least we didn't lose money today. One win and a break even. Can't complain too much. A little pop up there. Not a lot though. Not a lot of buyers. Just a little bit. A little bit of buyers. Mafia futures. Oh, spots? Interesting. So I definitely picked them over Top Step, I think. Actually, I don't think Top Step's bad either. For some reason, I just haven't really been attracted to Top Step recently. I don't even know why. They didn't do anything like bad. I forgot what it was. Oh, there was something that they did or didn't do that I was just like kind of unattracted to. Oh yeah, they got rid of like Trade of 8. That might have been part of it. Yeah, I can't remember. There was something with Top Step that was kind of like, not my favorite. Maybe it was just like the prices, because you have to pay like, I guess $50 for the 50k isn't bad, but they have to pay $150 to like get funded and activate it afterwards. So it's a little bit on the more pricey side. But if they have the more lax rules, yeah, it's a bit hefty. But if the rules are important to you and they have the most relaxed rules, then you can't complain too much, I guess. Can't hedge on funded futures. Interesting. Okay, they do have some limitations though. It makes sense that they'd have some naturally. Make more than 50k, they move. Okay, yeah, they close your fund and move you to live. Which isn't the end of the world. Because if you can still use the bot, then you can just keep like growing your live account. It just sucks as far as like getting payouts. But you can still pay yourself as you grow your live balance or whatever. I wanted like 550k funded so I can make million do nothing. That would be the goal. That would be the dream right there. Like if I could do that, just like put a bot, run 5 accounts. Even if it made me go live eventually, it's like you could probably make some good money before you go live. And then I guess 50k is not a ton, but still like more than a lot of people make in a year. And then you just kind of like slowly scale up your live account and start adding more contracts and increase the risk. With enough profits, I can let the bots trade 15 minis. 15 minis is crazy. But then you would definitely be making some good kush, some good money. Yeah, so it would take a little bit longer to like kind of scale up the size. And you probably wouldn't be able to like really take much payouts as far as like once you're on a live account. But yeah, eventually you'll be able to kind of have each account. Or if you have one account, I forgot how they do it. Do they like combine all your accounts into one live account or do they give you multiple live accounts? I guess either way, it doesn't. One live account, the largest account size. Oh, so they don't like combine if you have like 5? Because that would be a bit annoying. So once you make 50k, they move you so that's max 2 accounts I would be able to do. Dang. It's not quite ideal. But as far as like how fast you can scale, but oh yeah, that's true. I think it's, what is it? It's every 5 days? Yeah, I think it's every 5 days. Kind of like funding ticks. We need like 150 or 200 profit per day. But then you can withdraw like the 5k. So 5k per account. So you can make 25k in a week. But then once 2 weeks is over, then you'll get moved to live, I'm assuming. If you make 50K in 2 weeks. 50K in 2 weeks is killer. But then if you go to live, they kind of reset you down to like whatever your account balance is. It's not as ideal, for sure. Do they still have the 5K per week once you're in a live account? I guess I could like look this stuff up too. I'm not sure where all the info would be on their website, but I want to say once you're in a live account, you don't have limitations for withdrawals. Yeah, it wouldn't be ideal, but you would want to scale. So you could like probably take some small payouts or however much you would kind of need or want. Well, obviously, yeah, the goal would be to scale the account up to like that 30K balance that you're talking about, or however much you would need for like your 15 mini risk goal or whatever. So it definitely takes some time, but I mean, technically, eventually you could build up your account to like 100K live account, and then just trade all the contracts and stuff that you're allowed to. And I guess if they still cap you, I was gonna say, if they cap you at like 15 still, that's a lot. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, be floating 150K total to scale up to 15 contracts per account would be crazy. It's a me problem though. Yeah, potentially. Most people aren't having that issue. But it's not a bad issue to have. Yeah, we do have a little bit better of a move down here. I might not mind a bear flag if we set one up here, since we could be making the move down. So we did kind of make a decent move off the 15-minute EMA a little bit. You know, for sure, certain traders aren't making more than 5K a week if they're on Top Step. Like in the live environment, do they still have like they have a leaderboard? Or is that a different prop firm I'm thinking of? I know one of the prop firms has like a live leaderboard. Or something like that. Maybe that's Tradeify. Guess they're all like hyping up the live environment. Right. They're still on the express funded if they haven't made 50K plus yet. Yeah, so it looks like Tradeify has the live leaderboard. That was the one I was thinking of. Looks like the top performer of the month made $29,000 on their live account. Live funded through Tradeify. And they got like a $4,500 bonus for being first place. Probably scale my bot up with SPY options and retire from trading. Hey, if you got that as an option, I mean, can't blame you. Just make a bunch of money. Scale it up, get rich, and then just walk away.
Order submitted.
Might try this, see if it works out.
Order filled.
Damn, we got a little pop, little move. But we couldn't quite make too much of a move. Hopefully we don't get stopped out here. But you never know with today.
Stop filled.
Yeah. Oh well. A little fake out there with the bear flag, but can't win them all. Looks like it might even still work out here. I just had to go stop out everyone first. And that's where the price action today might be a little tricky, is just with those wicks up and down, stop people out, stuff like that. Yeah, we got that break even, that didn't really work out. Luckily we did catch this one earlier in the day, but might have gotten a little lucky with that one, potentially. $20 wicks pissed me off. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I might be able to trade that. Definitely could be decent. Lotus Bloom, thank you for the follow, appreciate it.
Order submitted.
That's the first new follower of the stream. Normally we get a bit more than that, but it's alright if we're a little slower than normal, I suppose. If you are new though, and you're enjoying at all,
Order filled.
definitely feel free to give me a follow. I stream live every single weekday, so I'll be back tomorrow if you want to see me again. You in a trade? Yeah, I have another account just on the side. I took a 5-minute reversal trade that I usually have been taking just on another account just to kind of see how they work out. Like I got fun to doing it, so I've been keeping up with it. Let's see. But also, I don't want to I kind of want to stay here for a sec in case I see something I like on the 1 minute. But also, I probably shouldn't trade too much more today, at least with this account, because this is clearly not the best price action for these kind of trades. I mean, we've got all these wicks like barely and then just went straight up. Kind of nasty, not gonna lie. Yeah, I know it's a good warning for sure. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have taken this trade. Just like with some respect to like the chop, but also with like this move down and then holding the EMA. I thought we'd get like a little move or push down. Maybe take out the low. But yeah, we kind of just wicked down and wicked right back up. And we've, despite the chop, we have slowly been making our way down. So, a little unfortunate. Can't be too upset about it though. Like, it's not like I really shouldn't have made the trade. I just probably could have not taken it and played it safe with my 1 win. But yeah, I don't know if I'm going to get too many other opportunities here with this price action. We might actually take out the lows. We might continue this trend down, which is wild. You'd think with a little bit of chop that we might kind of come back to this range up here at some point. But it looks like we're just gonna kind of keep pushing down slowly. Short 60 on the RSI. Alright, we're still got a ways to go on the NASDAQ for that. We're currently at like a 40. So it could actually be a good spot to buy here. But yeah, the chop might tighten up and get even worse here in the next like 10 minutes. Freedom, thank you for the follow, appreciate it. Is it a bad idea to trade the trend down waves? I mean, probably not, just because like that's clearly what it's doing. And there's nothing wrong with following the trend.
Stop filled.
But I think he's referring to just like this kind of downtrend where it's kind of, I mean, we're pretty consistently making lower lows and lower highs, kind of following like this trend. So yeah, like technically if you like buy down here, sell up here somewhere, you could probably follow it pretty well and it might work out. Domo, thank you for the follow. Where's Prakash at? For real. He should be here saying, keep buying, keep buying. We need someone else to encourage us to buy at the bottom. Not that we're a falling knife. Yeah, he actually probably would have. Because even right now, like, you kind of buy down here somewhere, you probably get a little pullback up into here. Just kind of, when it gets a little overextended, buy, and then get a little pullback, make some money. And then wait for it to come back down even lower. Buy again. Max, thank you for the follow, appreciate it. Yeah, I don't know if he does. I don't know if he like dislikes you, but he definitely does not like you. But he might dislike you, who knows. 100% dislikes me. Yeah, probably not gonna argue with that. That's true. You've been questioning his entire existence. Yeah, that part I didn't quite understand, because like obviously it seems to work sometimes for him, and it wouldn't be that difficult to say like, oh, like I'm buying because it's overextended or whatever, or because of some support on the higher time frame or something. Right, maybe it's like a divergence between ES or a divergence on like delta. There's a lot of different like reversal strategies out there. But yeah, he never was really able to answer them too well. Or like at all. And we're still making lows here. Just very slowly, very slowly. Not a lot of momentum, which is why the bear flag did not work out. Pretty much. We just have to wait for it to pull back to like up here somewhere. And then we short it, I guess. Or maybe we wait for it to come down here, because then we can buy it. And if it does reverse back up, we're on the right side of it. Potentially. But trading with the trend is always my preference. Can you put Apple on this chart? I don't know. I could like look. I actually might be able to. Maybe not. I might not be paying for the data. What site/program is this? This is NinjaTrader. So I pulled up Apple in the 1 minute, but it's kind of just a blank. I don't know if that's because like I don't have. I reload the Ninja scripts. I don't know if that's because I don't have like the package on NinjaTrader that like lets me see this, or what. I'm not sure. But also it's like NinjaTrader is strictly futures, I think. And Apple is not futures. But I can pull it up on TradingView pretty easily. Some clean momentum. Yeah, it looks a lot, a lot cleaner than this garbage on NASDAQ and ES. ES might be even worse than NASDAQ. It's just like chopping. At least NASDAQ's chopping like lower as a little bit of a direction, kind of. That's true. It could be time to short. It's kind of tempting. I don't like really want to risk money on it, but like, low key, we've been following this line for quite a while now. Knowing me though, the second I take this trade with the chop is the second that we're gonna push through and then break the highs. Ooh, Ultimate Brad, he's gonna try it. Shorted. See, I just know my luck, and I know that like as soon as I sell, that's when it's gonna do this. And maybe Brad has the same luck. Which is why I don't trade chop, because eventually we break the chop. And the last thing I want is to be paper baby. Okay. Yeah, I might take you at the 60, which we're actually almost there. I might take it, see if I can make back my 250. Take a little scalp, Maybe even I'll try and ride it to the bottom of the RSI or something like that. To the 40. Like I said though, with chop, I just need to practice and try it more. But the few times that like I have tried it, as soon as I take like the top of the range trade, it breaks the range. Stop me on the stop loss. Yeah, you might have gone in a little early there. I mean, it was with the trend line. But if you do look at the RSI, we're almost at 60, but non-funded. If you're doing your actual account, TP. We didn't quite get to the 60. Looks like we might find ourselves a new little high here. You can short here technically. The trend has been stopped right before 60. Okay, yeah, it's kind of based off how it reacts. That makes sense. Kind of watch the reaction here at the top when we get close to 60. I mean, that would have been a decent short. I would have gotten my 12.5 points if I went for that. Chop might tighten up though. Yeah, checks out. Oh, here's Prakash. Time to buy. Right now? Shoot. He could be right though. We kind of broke the trend line and now we're supporting it. Maybe he's a trend line trader. But not like he doesn't trade with the trend. Looks like I mean it's going up. Could be right. You can enter at the same level. So like here, same risk. Okay. Yes, yeah, using a little bit of trend line, support the trend line off the break, and then get the reversal. That makes sense. I've seen that before. Let's see if it plays out or not though. Enter here, same risk, like on the short. Yeah, same price you would have gone in. Yeah, that's true. I probably would have gone in somewhere around 25 to 20. It's kind of tempting. I might hold off. Oh, this is kind of tempting though. The only thing that's kind of scares me is Delta. I don't know if you look at Delta at all. Just like the not like Delta for like options. I don't know if it's like similar or not, but just with futures as an indicator, or I'm sure you can find it for other stocks too, but it's basically just the difference of buying and selling volume kind of put into like a chart. Never looked at that in my life. They call it like, yeah, cumulative volume delta. And it's just like volume. Buyers and sellers, buyers versus sellers, put onto like a chart with like almost like candlesticks like this. And there's a lot of buyers. Like buyers compared to price are like all the way up here. Which I don't know if that like means anything, because clearly the buyers aren't pushing price up. So even if there's a lot of buyers, they're not making any progress. So that could actually be like not a bad short, just because of the divergence between the amount of buyers and where price is. But also there's a lot of buyers. So the short probably holds up here though. $505 is the best entry. I mean, yeah, if you want to be very literal, that was the bottom tick. But I don't know who would have gone that bottom tick right there at 505. Actually, oh, you're saying like before 505. That's like down here, yeah. I'm gonna try it again. Oh boy, good luck. Still looking for shorts? Probably until we break the trend to the upside. 19 shorts. 2 minis. Well, you're up 5 points. Not bad so far. Looking for 05. Looks like you might get it here in a second. Yeah, I did chop around for a little bit on those EMAs, but does look like this short might play out here. Wow, really? So I looked away for a sec. What happened? Looks like we got to 506 and then all the way back to 25. Yeah, that's rough. Are you break even? Are you still in this? I'm surprised Prague got longs here. I'm like kind of not surprised just because like he always says keep buying. Got me out. Dang it. Negative 650. Negative 650. That is in fact an oof. My condolences as well. Shifting at 10? Possibly. Also, like maybe it just would have been worth like going break even after you were up almost at profit target. That's just what I do though. Like sometimes I will like let it run and do its thing, like stop or win. But if we get like 1 point away from my profit target, or like 2, like if we get that close and we have the audacity to come all the way back to my entry, at that point I'd probably just go break even because it's probably not going to go all the way back down there. But that's just me and what I do. But sometimes that's true. You don't have time to react. You have to like your finger on the trigger. But that was a quick green candle. Yeah, I gotta love the chop. Gotta love it. Yeah, maybe if we get back up to the 60, maybe I'll try it again. Or not again, but try it. Big red candle has to come. That's right, it's gonna come, and we're gonna make money off of it. Oh, it definitely does. Yeah, they're definitely anticipating this. Lost on the short earlier, 20 points. Oh yeah, you took that first one. So yeah, that's why I don't like the chop, because you never know when it's gonna like push just a little bit higher. Even if it does come back down. It's hard. It's hard to read. But sometimes it's almost like it's easy. It's like, oh, we just sell here, right? Or buy here, here. It's almost like too easy. 5 minute? This is the 1 minute currently. Oh, tilting a little bit now. It might be time to walk away. There's always more trading tomorrow. Live to trade another day, as they say. Oh, we got 32 viewers. Chat, we're popping off right now. Welcome to the stream, everybody. If you're new and you're enjoying, I'd appreciate a follow. But if not, no worries. Also, check out my YouTube channel if you like YouTube. I only have a couple videos so far, but I go live on there every day as well, so you can see a little bit more of what I'm doing. If you don't like the vertical condensed system of TikTok. But yeah, if you enjoy that, subscribe. Appreciate it. All the support means a lot. Brandon, thank you for the follow. Do I try short one more time? Oh, that's the question, right? Eventually it's gonna go. It didn't quite go here, almost did. But it might next time. Because eventually, with all consolidation and chop, comes a breakout. I mean, Gosh is definitely on team buy. Keep it yeah, exactly. Keep buying. There it is. He's here for it. So see what happens. Because technically, if we could draw the range like here and like here now, right? Sell here, buy here. You just never know how long that's going to hold up, unfortunately. And that's where I have a hard time trading the chop. But the RSI does help a little bit, I think. It kind of helps validate those levels. So if we do get up to the 60, it could be a thing. But even TechFlu is saying stop trading. In my opinion, chop only takes money from you readily. And that's where I'd agree. Like, money can still be made if done cautiously and smart. But like, again, it's not worth the risk in my opinion. There's just a very high chance of it breaking the chop or who knows what, right? Someone was following the chop strat today, they'd be up. Probably, yeah. I imagine, yeah, some of these RSI moves got hit and made some good money. Keep the stop losses tight. Yeah, probably. You kind of sell at the top of the range, keep it kind of tight. Unfortunately, so these wicks might stop you out still, though. That's where it's tough. Oh, he's long two minis. Looking for 50. From 30 to 50. He's looking for the breakout. But yeah, with something like this, you might almost want to give it like just a little bit of room for these wicks. But tight stops are nice in some situations, obviously, because then you can keep the losses at a minimum. But 1,000 cuts can still kill a man, so even if it's just a little cut, too many will still get you. Aim for 7 points. That's probably not a bad level. You're up 8 points now. That's kind of the top of these wicks. That's where I'd personally start to kind of go break even, just because like keep the risk off. But also that's where I probably would. I might miss out on the win. Oh, there's a little breakout. Looks like 50 is about to come. There you go. There's 50. A long one mini on paper. Nice. Well, that's a good long. Beautiful. Very beautiful. Yeah, that was a good one. Again, that would have been my luck though if I sold here at the top of the range. What do? Breakout. That was good though. That was good. Oh, Prakash says keep buying. If I see a nice bull flag, I might get in on this. But also, if it goes back to chop, that's when that'll not be pretty for me. Not a big fan. Our size almost up to a 70 as well. But if we're going to actually get some buying momentum, that might not matter. Still riding it, trying to stop. Nice. Green over 100 on the day. Hey, green is green, even if it's only 100. And sometimes when I like have some losses, and then I make back those losses, whether I'm break even or slightly above, sometimes that's enough. Like that's enough to call it a day and be happy. Like I don't know, at least that's kind of how I usually do things. Like if I'm up in the green and then I make money, right? And I have a losing trade, sometimes I'll be done trading because at least I'm still kind of around break even. I don't want to end up in the red. But if I'm already in the red and I make back my losses, I'm just happy to not be in the red. Right? Not being in the red is the goal. And sometimes forcing the profits can lead to obviously more exposure to the market, more risk, and more chance to be in the red. If you can't catch the wins initially off of a good trade, right? Because obviously the goal is to trade A+ setups anyways. So you should be winning anyways. And if you're not, that's when you got to be kind of careful that you don't end up losing more than you're willing to. Yeah, I think 3 losing trades in a row is pretty good, pretty standard for most people, as long as you keep the risk in control. So you guys think the market will move 250 up today? I don't know about that. I mean, never say never. But the fact that we're nearly 2 hours in and we've barely moved down 100 points and we've almost come back up 100 points. Don't know about that. Scala Metro, thank you for the follow. That's toward this because I don't believe in the momentum today. And I don't really either. That's where it's tough. It's a tough one. We are about at the 70. This could be the spot, especially at this overnight low or something like that. I think that's what that is, where I took that short earlier. It's still just going up though, that's the only problem. Grab a micro. Yeah, low key. See if we get something out of it. I feel like I need to wait for at least a little bit of a reaction here, if I am going to do anything. I guess we could short the 15-minute range low. But there definitely seems to be a lot of buyers just like running straight through all these levels. I mean, yeah, if this isn't momentum, I don't know what is, but at the same time, I don't know if I trust it either, like Techflu was saying, so. I know, it's picking up. Like, this candle especially was just going. I mean, the fact that we had no reaction off the overnight low or the London low. Oops, I moved it. I don't know where that was. I think it was like here. We're getting a little reaction off the 15-minute range low. Still, the buyers are kind of just running through all of it like a freight train. They're relentless. This could be the sell off the RSI though. What are you trading? This is NASDAQ futures. And Q. I short this out of spite. Low key. It is finding a little support off this level though. Konyash Tumble Time. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. We're getting pretty close to 500 followers, guys. It's pretty good milestone, I'd say. Appreciate all the support. Cozy with Liz, thank you for the follow as well. Hey, I've been looking for you. You've been looking for me? Is that like a good thing or a bad thing? Oh, here's that short though. Jeez. Short 2 minute 85. Well done. I should have taken it more seriously. I know I like nearly thought about it, but I was like, do I really want to risk it on my account? Oh, well, I appreciate it. I'm glad you found it. Now that you followed me, you should be able to find me whenever you want. Or also, I'm on YouTube, BangerTrades on YouTube. Subscribe to my channel, and you'll see me live there as well. That's true. Micro wouldn't have hurted. Or hurt. Yeah, it's one of those things where like it wouldn't have hurt, but like I still like even if I held it for like 50 points, that'd still only be like $100. Which $100 is $100, don't get me wrong. But I don't know if I would have held it that long. And we don't even know if it's gonna go that far down, but it might. Especially if we wait for like the 40 or the 30 on the RSI. Hey, I definitely don't want to jeopardize the payouts. That's for sure. Yeah, it is very anti what I'm typically used to trading. So there's definitely some hesitation there. But might be something to definitely keep an eye on, kind of like the 15-minute strategy. This is a reaction right off the 21 and the 9. Came right down through all of that. Actually, I probably could have taken a decent short at like 40, 43. Wait, where are we? Yeah, kind of like 43, 45 area after we got below, and I kind of held below the 90 EMA on the 15-minute, assuming the short momentum was in fact going to work. And that could have been a good short for almost 20 points now. Maybe even more. You definitely did give me the play, that's true. What's the fair value gap indicator name? It's literally just called fair value gap. You can see it right here at the top. It's built into NinjaTrader, at least the newest version that I have. Yeah, the RSI looks like we're about to hit the 40, so you'd be taking profit around here at these lows. Yeah, there it is. That's a pretty solid trade. Pretty killer. Really killer, actually. What is that like? If I got in kind of up here somewhere at like the 85s, 80s, it's like a 60-point trade. Yeah, it would have been like $120 with just one micro. Would have been over 1,000 with a mini. I almost did though. I almost took just like my typical 12.5 point trade, because then I would have had like a little bit of risk up here for 12.5 points, and then I just want to go for a little scalp down to like 90 MA. Would have made 250 pretty quickly, which would have been killer as well. But if I held it, that would have been really nice. You just never know when you're gonna get this kind of momentum. That's the tough part. Well, when you do catch it, it's quite nice. Quite nice. Looks like we might even go to the lows. Looks like that 15-minute momentum might be playing out. How do you recommend I start practicing for next week to start either paper trading or demo trading? Jeez, there's the lows. Probably just find a platform that you like, just like aesthetically and like with good functionality. I like NinjaTrader, but some people don't. It's a little complicated compared to other platforms like TradingView or Quant Tower or Tradeovate. But find one you like. Most of them will give you like a free trial, and then you can just like paper trade for like a week with the free trial. But after the free trial, at least with NinjaTrader, you can pay like $4 a month to get the data, and then you can paper trade for $4 a month, which is pretty nice. Yeah, I like Ninja. What other... Wait, let's see. What other TF you align with your one min? Oh, time frame. Sorry, I'm a little slow sometimes. I was like, what's TF? I was thinking of something else. Other time frame. So typically, I'll just keep an eye on the 5-minute and the 15-minute mostly. Sometimes I'll look at the 1 hour stuff just to see the overall bias or trend, but as far as like actually taking trades, most of it's 1 minute, but then like I look at like the 15-minute as well as the 5-minute. I have the 5-minute chart open up on my YouTube since I have more room. You can see both the 5-minute and the 1 minute. Thank you for the roses. Oh, and the heart as well. Thank you. Let's see. Does it have backtesting things like being able to try my strategy from a random date? See, I think so. I think NinjaTrader has like a market replay feature. I haven't used it much. I usually just forward test for the most part. But I'd say, oh shoot, it's time to buy, according to Prakash. Yeah, it should have a market replay. TradingView is nice for like charts, but I think NinjaTrader is a lot better for executing trades. Oh, can't always trade during the New York session. I won't be able to practice. Yeah, you should be able to go back and kind of practice as if it was live. I forgot how to do it, but I'm sure if you like Google it, you can find a YouTube video on how to backtest on NinjaTrader. SE Shix Patrick, thank you for the follow, appreciate it. Yeah, this is a nice little buy off the 40 RSI. Yeah, I remember that, I think. Top strat pumped to just dump right after. Called it out. Would you think that's a good strategy to get to know the market, at least charts-wise? What strategy? Or are you asking what strategy? it. I might have missed a message. Let's see. Oh, you just mean like your strategy with like back testing. I thought you meant like a specific like trading strategy. Yeah, no, I'd say that's a great way to get into the markets and test it out. Like nothing will quite compare to trading like live, just because it's not gonna ever be quite the same with like your fills and just with like the wicks and how the market moves kind of like second by second. But it doesn't do a bad job, I don't think, as far as like basic, just seeing what happens and trading. But yeah, we are getting a little bit more tight probably because of the lunchtime coming up, or it's already kind of here. 11:35, almost 12. Ruma, thank you for the follow. I probably butchered that real bad, but I appreciate the followers. Yeah, no, definitely not a bad idea just to kind of see the market move a little bit. First pay up by New Year. That's a good goal. Unfortunately, I don't think you can really get a payout of $1. A lot of places have like minimums. Like prop firms usually have like minimums of a couple $100s. I'm not sure if you trade like a live account though, you might be able to take out $1. I don't know. Can you enter the trade? Only if it's a good one. So far, we're kind of just chopping and ranging. I mean, we took out all these highs just to then take out the lows. I'm not a big fan of that, personally. If we continue lower, it might not be bad. Right, possibly like a bear flag. But at the same time, price action's been a little rough today. I don't know if I trust it too much. Yeah, no, that's a good goal to get a payout. You know, it's just like a little bit, a little something. That white line aligned with below the 5 into open range retest. You're talking about this white line? That's the 15-minute range low. So it might align with what you were talking about. Yeah, it went all the way down there. Crazy. Normally I think we might continue the momentum down, but I just don't know if I trust it. But it could be like a nice, if we break down here, it could be a nice sell. Just don't know how I trust it. Of course, now it's starting to go. It's tempting. Might have kind of missed the move though. We're already, if I did get in here, we'd be up like 7 points, which I probably would have gone break even by that point, just to play real safe. It is kind of my setup. It's just a little ugly with like this wick at the low. And if you look at the 5-minute or the 15-minute, I mean, do you really want to short this? That's another thing I kind of look for as well, is when we have a candle like this on the 5-minute, do you really want to like go short into this? Probably not, personally, but that doesn't mean it won't work. That's the thing. And that's the tough part of the trading is even bad setups still win sometimes. But definitely it still could be kind of tempting because it could get like a nice move down to the 495s maybe, 500s. Ultimate Brad shorted. Alright, good luck. Oh, I went to start laundry, did this in 10 minutes. Not for real. Stop loss at break even now. Probably smart with this kind of market. I would definitely probably have done the same if I was in the short here. I'd probably be stopped out right now already. Might try here if you close below 10. It's not a bad idea, not a bad look. Yeah, I think he's waiting for like a big red candle on like the 5-minute, then he'll buy or something. I guess actually we did get that on the 5-minute. Wait. Yeah, this candle. That was a big red candle. Unless that's not quite what he's looking for. I gotta just shut it down. Honestly, that could be the smartest thing to do. Because even me, like, if I was like playing Battlefield or something, I probably wouldn't have taken. Where was it? I'm on the wrong chart. I'm on the 5-minute. If I was playing Battlefield, I might not have taken this trade. No, I probably still would have. It was good enough, just with like the setup and the EMAs. We just got unlucky. But I definitely would have been more likely to like be content with my $250 win. A little push down, but yeah, I definitely would have gotten break even at some point if I didn't win that trade. Definitely could be a good spot to buy. Price is working a volume imbalance on the weekly time frame. True support and resistance. That would definitely make sense. Yeah, I definitely don't blame you for shutting down. Might be about that time for me as well, just so I don't lose any more money. We didn't lose a lot, but $7, basically break even. Should have taken that short. Just wasn't the most confident in it, unfortunately. But what can you do? Yeah, under 100 red isn't bad at all. That's what I usually saying. Hindsight is always 20/20 exactly. I know I'm in some massive debt right now. I'm gonna have to like take out a loan and go gamble or something. What? No, don't do that. No, yeah, that's what I'm saying as well. Basically break even, so we kind of chilling. Just offered Brandon an easy path to success. Easy is definitely relative, but it's definitely a lot easier than probably him figuring out his own journey. But if he does figure out his own journey, he'll probably succeed more in the long run potentially. It just might take a lot longer. Double top. It's true. A little double top there. But he might just be chopping around. I mean, look at the 5 minutes getting kind of ugly here. Last couple candles after the move up and the move down kind of cancel each other out. How does this look for long? Consolidation or consolation? That's a good question. It could hold up these lows for the longs, but I think we're just gonna chop around for the next like 30 minutes or an hour, so maybe even more. I don't know if it's good for the longs or the shorts. Consolidation. Okay, gotcha. Okay, not entirely on your own. That's good. No front with percents split. It's definitely not a bad deal. As long as it's like a good split. But even then, like if it does work, then money's money. Big green candle coming. Oh boy. Yeah, I see the value in what you're saying. I think it's valid. Yeah, it's kind of making the move up now. Pause. Cup and handle coming. I don't know if I've heard of that one. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Still like shorts below 10. Yeah, I don't know if I'd dislike them either. He does kind of sound like that. He probably is your friend. He's just on like a different TikTok account here to troll you. Lillian, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. The chart clearly says buy. Why are you not buying? I mean, I might just be seeing something different, but I'm just seeing chop. We're kind of seeing some chop just between like these levels here. It might pop up and go up now, but it's definitely not. I mean, like, here's the rejection, right? We have this green candle, green candle, and a red candle. It's getting pretty tight. I see trending day. Well, if it is trending, it's probably trending to the downside, not the upside. I mean, we kind of were trending up for a second with this move, but then we went all the way down to the lows. So yeah, I definitely don't really see the, at least like on the lower time frame, we just got a lot of shorts. I'm not sure about like the hour and the higher, super high time frames, but again, if I was buying up here, we would have just been slapped down to the bottom of the little range. But we did bounce right off my line. See, Chad, that's why I should just buy
Order submitted.
right
Order
here
canceled.
and then sell
Order
right
canceled.
here, and we'll make money. It's that easy. Except when it doesn't work. Which, knowing my luck, when I actually make the trade, that's when it's not going to work. But yeah, I'd say it's definitely chopping. It's lunchtime. I mean, if you look at the 5 minute, we've been chopping for the last like 20 minutes. We haven't really gone anywhere. Yeah, to play devil's advocate, like to play on Brandon's side, you are kind of some just random guy on TikTok. Obviously, like you've been on the live for a while, so like I know you a decent amount, and I've seen like what you say is pretty accurate most of the time. But for Brandon, I think he's like new to the stream, I think, or relatively new. And like I definitely wouldn't be trusting some random guy on a TikTok chat, personally. But in Techflip's defense, he seems to know what he's talking about every time he joins the live, so. That's true. Everyone's just some random guy. I'm just some random guy. K2, Texas, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Thank you for sharing the live. Appreciate it. What about me? Prakash is not. He's not random. He's an OG. But also, relatively, we're all basically random people. Can we get you 10,000 likes? Maybe. That's up to you. That's up to you guys. you got your work cut out for you. We're only at 3,000, but also 3,000 is still it's a lot. So thank you guys for the likes. Someone's spamming the like button, and I'm not complaining. But 10,000 is that would be a record, I think. I think the most I've gotten is probably like 3,000, maybe. Actually, no, I might have gotten 7,000 once. Someone was like spamming the likes, or maybe they like. I don't know if they used like some sort of bot or something, or if they just like kept spamming it. But I got like 5K likes in like 20 minutes, or something like that crazy. I finished the stream up like 7,000, I think. But I think that's the most I've gotten. But I also don't know how legit that was. I got the spam. I appreciate it. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. This could be the move up, unless we wick back down in the range. Oh, here's the rejection back to the range. It's okay, eventually we'll break out, and it'll probably go up. Unless we go down. If we get below the 507s, 505s, we could definitely be dumping. But we definitely still need some work here if we're gonna go up at all. Left and likes, there you go. Oh shoot, yeah, we went from like, I literally like looked down for like a second. We went from like 3,500 up to now we're at 5,000. Jeez. Oh, there is two Brandons. I almost didn't realize, I might not have realized that because your guys' profile pictures aren't like too different either. Just like the color from like, I have like a monitor that's like a little far away, so like the colors are like kind of similar. That's funny. I probably thought you guys were like the same person for a little second. Because I saw like the Brandon. Both Brandons going crazy. Heck yeah. Let's go Brandon. But yeah. Anyways. Another 500. Jeez, yeah, we're almost up to 6K. Oh, Prakash with the 4 roses as well. Thank you. Appreciate it. When he gave that 10K. I don't know like what that even does for the stream, but I imagine it's got to be all good things. I don't know how TikTok works with all that stuff. But hey, the more likes the better. That's gotta be how it works. Dang, up to 7K. You guys are killing it. Especially with this freaking price action. I mean, what can you do? What can you do with this? I guess you could buy now and hope it goes back up to this other line. That's about all you can do. Just hope for the best. But like I said, if we got below like 507, 505, we definitely could be get a little momentum to the downside. Oh, you did make an algo that trades based off TradingView drawing alerts. That's kind of cool. The last entry hit my stop loss. Dang it. Unfortunate. Up to 8,200 likes. Chat, you guys are killing it. Popping off. You can draw two trend lines and it'll sell depending on how it crosses the line. That would be pretty useful if you're a trendline trader. Oh, you did make an algo that trades based off TradingView drawing alerts. That's kind of cool. The last entry hit my stop loss. Dang it. Unfortunate. Up to 8,200 likes. Chat, you guys are killing it. Popping off. You can draw two trend lines and it'll sell depending on how it crosses the line. That would be pretty useful if you're a trendline trader. It's typically not what I do, but also wouldn't be a terrible thing to do. Just like draw some lines like this and let the bot do its thing until it breaks the trend. Yeah, kind of cross above, then cross back below. I mean, clearly that's the move right here. The buy would have been nice, but also, like we talked about, the chop just isn't really worth like this kind of chop. It's not really worth it. Death by 1,000 cuts, as they say. Super easy to get chopped up and spit out. Ian, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Again, I'm so confident. I'm glad you're confident, and if you're confident, like, go for it. That's what I always say. If you're confident, that's when you should be making trades. I just don't know if I'm confident that it's going to break past this blue line that I drew. That means nothing. But so far, if every time we hit it, we go above it a little bit, and then we come right back down. It's true. You need like a lot of, I don't know what I'm saying. You need to get like the more premium package if you're going to get more alerts. I forgot about that. I just have like the basic like package, so I get like 5 indicators per chart, which is kind of nice. Oh, but we did it though, 10K. That actually looks kind of clean too. I don't know if you guys can see that like the same that I see it, but having like the 10 and then the K, it's a lot cleaner than like 9,000. Looks kind of nice. Well done, everybody. Well done. Let's go. Oh, thank you for the more roses as well. So we hit my rose goal or whatever that was. I didn't even set that. I think that's like a default, like 10 roses or whatever goal. But that's another good goal to hit. So thank you for that. I think that gives me like 5 cents or something like that. It's like very low. Oh, here's the rejection off my blue line again. This is the blue line algo, guys. Oh yeah, the Brandons are unmatched. Now, that's the great thing about the boys. Not that girls can't do this either, but like the boys especially, when they come together for a cause, they make it happen. When they want to get 10K, they get 10K, and they bring all the other boys together. They always got each other's backs. But yeah, no, this blue line algo, crazy. I gotta start trading that. I could have, let's see, if I set it up around here, I could have sold here, bought here, sold here, bought here, sold here. I'd have like 5 winning trades in a row. But to sell a blue line algo for $9, you probably could, honestly. If it just like automatically could like figure out this kind of early on, draw the lines, and then just buy and sell. Probably make some money. Eventually it'll lose, obviously. Like eventually we'll break the trend and you'll have a losing trade, but as long as you have like your risk kind of relatively low, kind of like a 1 to 2 R, then even if you lose this trade here, it's not the end of the world. And then once you lose the trade, you know that the blue line algo is broken, and you wait for the next chop. Kind of like this. If you like had this here, depending on like when you would have found it or like drew it up, it's like you wouldn't have done it here or here, but maybe you would have done it like here or here, at least here. So you sell here, make some money here, buy here, make some money here, but then you sell here, you would have lost here, but then you're just done and you wait for the next blue line algo. How many points is that up and down? Let's find out. It's a little easier to measure on TradingView, so I'm going to go over there. So it's like from 31.5 down to 12. I mean, if you can do quick math, you can figure that out pretty quick. But if I just like draw the line up here, down here, it's like 26. No, like 21 points, 22. So that's like a 20 point range here. But as an example, you see you would have probably lost the trade here. I know we got the break. You would have lost the trade there. But then we just wait for the next setup. We wait for the next chop. But honestly, like to take one loss after 5 wins is totally worth it. Especially if each one of these is 20 points. And then honestly, like you might only have to risk like, let's see, 31. You probably only have to risk like 10 points, maybe like 15 on these trades to make like your 20-point profit target. So, I mean, yeah, 5 times. Actually, if you took all of these, like, again, if we set it up kind of right here, if we said, okay, this is the range, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess this one didn't make it all the way down, but I would have probably gone break even since we got pretty close. So let's say 4. So yeah, 4 times 400 is $1,600 if you're trading a mini, because that'd be 20 points to be 400, 400, 400, 400, and then like a break even. But yeah, even just 3 times would have been 1,200. One-fourth inning expected move is a great tight stop. Yeah, so you definitely could have had like a pretty tight stop. You probably could have moved this line up too, like up to here, technically, which would have had like way better entries, and you could have had like a 5-point stop to keep it like really tight. Same with like down here, move it down like to here somewhere. Boom, boom, boom. I mean, yeah, seems like I missed out, at least on like today or this. And then yeah, again, this trade would have been break even, and then maybe you wouldn't have taken it again up here because it didn't make it all the way down here. So it's like a hypothetical. But even if you did take it again up here and lost 1 trade, 1 out of 4 trades is pretty killer. That's a good win rate. Or technically 1 out of 5. So you'd have 4 wins versus the 1 loss, which is an 80% win rate. We have a 3. You said 3 Brads. I was like, wait, we got a 3rd, but you're talking about Ultimate Brad. So Ultimate Brad, Brandon Medeiros, and Brandon Thornton. Yo, he might with like the RSI. We almost got up to the 70, but not quite. Looks like we did reject off the overnight low though, pretty nicely. We're rejecting off the 21 EMA on the 15-minute chart as well. Could be what some people are looking for. He is the ultimate one. $10K funded? Yeah, I haven't heard of a 10K funded account unless he's like $10,000 in profit on his funded account or something like that. That could be like a thing. Question is, does this bull flag play out? Or are we still just chopping? I like low-key want to try it to continue this move up. But man, do I have trust issues today. Something like that. I might do a quick break even, see if we just get like a breakout.
Order submitted.
or something like that.
Order filled.
But it probably would be smarter to kind of do the RSI strat today like we talked about. But I'm kind of hoping we get like a little break up to this wick and then we'll just get like a break even and see what happens. Kind of like this. I would want like a little bit more before I go break even, typically. But yeah, the RSI is definitely looking like it wants to bring it back down. So that might be a little unfortunate. Probably should have been a little tighter with my break even on that, just knowing this would be a possibility with like the range today. I could move my stop lower, but I kind of like keeping my risk
Stop filled.
kind of where I normally do. I would have got stopped out if I put it lower anyways. So today's just not the day for the continuation of the breakouts. Because yeah, we had the same thing over here. We just like wicked below and then just went straight back up. Kind of little fake out. Got to go later, guys. You're still here. See ya. I know, it's the chop day. I still would expect a little bit of momentum after we break like this previous chop and then like maybe, yeah, get a little bit move kind of up, but clearly not the day for that, unfortunately. It is kind of to be expected. I'm just kind of trying my luck a little bit. I should have, like I said, kind of been more aggressive with my break even, just knowing that that's probably part of what's going to happen. It's even this, it's like almost tempting to try again. But today's just not quite the day for that. That break was the RSI move up. Yeah. I know, the devil on the shoulder. Do it again, do it again. It's like if it breaks 55, it's gonna go up. Surely. On any other day, probably would. But not today. That's true, the move up was like the same width of the chop earlier here. I still imagine it finds some support in here and makes the move back up. I think I just got like got in a little early. We did get back to the 90 EMA though, so it wasn't a bad pullback. It just wasn't ready to make the move back up. But it could here in a second, or maybe it keeps going lower. You never know. But yeah, with a day like today, it's probably more likely to come back down to this range area. And also, it's kind of like lunchtime and stuff too. It's not the best, but I mean, we keep our losses small. It's not the end of the world. We'll just have to make it back tomorrow. Or Thursday and Friday. We should have some good volatility, which will be good. Yeah, here's that move up. Bull flag, just a little bit delayed. I got the fake out early entry. But this is kind of what I was expecting earlier. And then I would have kind of gone break even somewhere and then hope for the push up or something like that. So yeah, I should have listened to the devil on my shoulder. Should have got in the second time. But yeah, typically today, momentum is going to lose some money. But yeah, MNQ is, yeah, it's a smaller version of NQ. And mini's the full. So mini's like typical, like what I just traded was a 1 mini, which was $250 for 12.5 points. But then a micro is 1/10 the size of that. Oh, no, there's not anything bigger than a mini. But you can trade like 5, 10 minis. Yeah, just buy more. Second time you remember that. If you're talking to me, I don't even remember what I said. I like started reading someone else's comment. I don't even know what I said, but I apologize for that. But yeah, this was the trade, chat. That was the trade. Just not the best entry. Got stopped out. I was in early. Yeah, that is interesting. Like, I'm sure there's like a valid answer for that. I just haven't bothered to like look up. But yeah, for whatever reason they call it a mini when it's not very mini. But there's probably a reason I just haven't bothered, like I said, to look into it. Blue line theories, returns, exactly. What are these? I think these are this is the overnight low and the London low. So like Asia and London, and it's just gonna chop between them. So we kind of did that a little bit earlier. But yeah, this guy went straight through both of them, up and down. Yeah, everything for the follow. That makes sense though. You can ignore the momentum and chop, like for the first entry anyways. Because yeah, you kind of get faked out here, so ignore that. But then if it gives you another entry, which for me would have been like right here, take that and then it works out, potentially. I think over here, I don't think it gave you another entry. Unless you technically took like this entry for the bear flag, when it took out this low, then it would have made the move. If you still consider this big pullback a bear flag, but it's kind of, there's a little bit of, you know, momentum on this candle for it to be a bear flag. I don't know, but that kind of makes sense. I'm gonna have to deuce to pra. See you later, Prakash. Thanks for hanging out in the live again. Yeah, I'm gonna have to keep an eye on that when we're kind of chopping. Just like watch the first one, but then maybe still take the second, or just try and figure out how to trade this, or don't trade at all. So now the buyers are really kind of making a stance here. Let's see if we can get back up into the 15-minute range. Then we might actually be looking kind of bullish, in my opinion. Potentially. Well, also, we're still not up to the 70, which actually might be worth trying to take again. I don't want to trade too much today, because it would suck to lose more than I already have, which isn't a ton. Obviously, we're just down to 60, which I can make back with one trade. But if we do hit the 70, get a nice short, I could make back my losses. So it is kind of tempting. You don't test that with your strat though. That's specifically for my strat, so I don't know how it works with yours. Yeah, you're right. I would have to test it. But also, that being said, at least today, like with this example, worked out perfectly. With this other one I lost, would have worked out perfectly if I waited, or just I either would have not taken it at all, or I would have taken it up here and would have won. So far, I'll keep an eye on it. We didn't quite get the reaction off the, or we didn't quite get the 70, but we are making the move down just before the 70, so this could be the move down. I'm hesitating a little bit, and I don't want to get like a bad entry, but blue 2 counts today. I hate to hear it, but today is one of the days for that with all the chop, unfortunately. Jesus, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. We're also right at VWAP, and I'm not a big fan of VWAP, as I usually say. VWAP's like a magnet. What's your YouTube? BangerTrades on YouTube. It should be pretty easy to, like, if you search it up, it should come up. Or there's I think it's also in the link in my bio. Let me double check. It should be. I just don't know. I'm still new to TikTok, guys. I'm still trying to figure this stuff out. But I think it should be like, yeah, the link in my bio of the TikTok. For the YouTube. But yeah, BangerTrades on YouTube. Done trading micros, all minis now. He's all in. Watch Brandon. Welcome to the YouTube. Yeah, it's a little cleaner on YouTube. My goal is to grow the YouTube obviously with time, but TikTok just grows like so much easier. And like it's a little bit more user friendly. So gotta keep the TikTok up. But yeah, YouTube you can see more of my screens. Not that there's much going on this one right now because it's kind of a weird day, but hypothetically, it's a better experience. And it's in 60 FPS, so it's all smooth. Sometimes I'll play games on stream too, and it's a lot better. Ah, you're still on. I am. I do normally get off sometimes before now, sometimes around now. I'm just vibing with chat though. We got some we just got a decent amount of people here. Normally we kind of die off a little bit, but we still got 20 people in the chat, so we're kind of just chilling. I did try a trade. It was this bull flag, and I took it here, got wicked, and then stopped out. And then it worked. So, unlucky, but we had the right idea. Olderaiken, thank you for the follow, appreciate it. Tell Jeff what I said about how Bumble traders would have done today. Yeah, he did kind of say, like, or pretty early on that momentum wasn't going to really work today, and that we're going to get chopped up and lose money. And that is the case for me, and it sounds like you as well, if you blew up 2 accounts. Watching here from Sweden. Dang, that's kind of cool. That's very cool, actually. Sweden. It's always cool when you find out people are like in your chat from like just around the world. Like if there's anyone else from like any cool country besides America. America's cool, don't get me wrong, but it's also where I live, so like it's not as cool to me as far as like being exotic goes. But if you're from a cool country, let me know. Swiss chocolate, I do hear is quite good. Does that mean you know PewDiePie? I'm just kidding. I know it's not how that works, but it is funny when people say that. Like people find out like, oh, you're from America, like you're in America, like so you must know this person, or like you live in this state, you must know this person. It's like no, it's not that simple. Is it Switzerland? I thought he was Sweden. I thought PewDiePie was Swedish. Am I wrong? I could be wrong. I'm gonna Google it. let me figure this out. That's true. America is cool to others, and Miami is pretty cool. PewDiePie. Yeah, okay, Google PewDiePie says Swedish YouTuber. Oh, no, Swiss chocolate. Okay. Someone else brought up Swiss chocolate. Someone else brought up the Swiss chocolate. I was just agreeing that I've heard it's good. But not from Sweden. Interesting. Okay, good to know, good to know. I was gonna say, yeah, he's definitely Swedish. I was like, there's no way I messed that up. But I also I could have because I'm not always the most bright. But I like to think that I am, at least most of the time. Swiss chocolate from Switzerland. That makes sense. That makes sense. Here's that move down though. From the RSI playing out again. I should have been trading the RSI strat today. It's just so hard to know. So hard to have confidence in it too when it's like a new thing. But it would have been killer today. Have you traveled outside the US? I have. I've been to Brazil, Mexico, Scotland, Ireland, Germany. I went to a couple countries in like Central America on like a cruise. I don't know if those technically count though, but like Belize, I think that's how you say it. Belize, maybe that's how you say it. That's how Americans say it. But what's Guatemala? No, it's Honduras. There's a couple on a cruise, but sometimes people don't count like cruise ship. Belize. That's how I've always said it before, but like someone said it in Spanish, you say like Belize or something. Also, they might not have been correct. Because I don't know if they were actually spoke Spanish. They were just telling me that I was wrong. Up and on that cruise. Nice. It's a good one. We went like out of Texas down to like, yeah, we went to Rotan, Belize, Cozumel. Yeah, that's exactly what we did. A couple airports, not countries for real. Yeah, someone told me airports don't count. But also, I'd say like they kind of do, especially if you get like the passport stamp. So I don't know for sure. Because I guess technically, I was in Amsterdam, the airport. Netherlands. But again, we never left the airport, so I don't know if that counts. Milo's, thank you for the follow, appreciate it. I've yet to go to Europe, sadly. Yeah, I just went to Europe like 2 years ago, but before that I had never been. But it was really cool. We had some family friends in Germany, but on the way there we stopped in like Scotland and Ireland to see like some of the castles and stuff. That was pretty cool. Traveled much to Central America, Caribbean. Nice, nice. Can't go wrong with Central America. And Caribbean's beautiful as well. I still need to make it out to the Caribbean. I have yet to do that. How much money do you need to trade? That depends. If you're going to trade a personal live account, you probably need tens of thousands of dollars to be like realistically safe. Unless you trade like really small size, you could probably get away with a couple thousand if you trade the micros. But if you're trading prop firms, you probably only need like a couple $100, which is really nice. It'd be like $500. So you have like just a little extra in case you blow an account or two. Prop firms are definitely the play for new traders, in my opinion. I know some might disagree, but I think they're killer. Like Funny Ticks right now, with the 35% off for like new customers, you can get a $50,000 account, all in, no activation fee for $55. And even if you don't get the 35% off, if you're a recurring customer, it's still like 65 or something, 60 something dollars, which is still really good for a $50,000 account with no activation fee. Because most prop firms, you pay like 50 to $100, but then you have to pay like another $100 for the activation fee. That's true. I forgot about penny stocks. That is it's kind of a different beast though, different realm than futures. But if you do want to start day trading in general, penny stocks, there you go. Potential short / long. There definitely is potential for either. It's hard to know though. We could be still making our way down if we continue kind of the chop of today. But we'll see. We are kind of holding this miniature uptrend though. How are their eval challenge rules? They're actually some of the best in the space right now. The drawdown's $2,000 end of day, which is pretty normal for most prop firms. And then the profit target on eval is only $2,500, which is $500 cheaper or lower than almost every other prop firm. So they have some of the best rules right now. They do have a 40% consistency rule on the eval. But that's not bad because you can still make like $1,000 in a day. And then I think you have to trade like a minimum of 3 days. But so you can't pass in a day, which I know some people like to do with like Apex and stuff. But if you want to like trade smart and consistently anyways, just trade 3 days, right? Make $1,000 a day. Boom, you're chilling, you're funded. So I'd say it's one of the better, more competitive eval rules right now. Ultimate Brad is back. Let's go. So that's not for the payout. The 3 days is for like the minimum to get funded, But then once you're funded, you need to make $2,000 to basically reach their buffer. And then you just need like 5 trading days of $150 in profit or more to get a payout. And you can take a payout every single week. And basically there's 2 different account options that you can choose from. One of them has a reward cap of $5,000 and one has a reward cap of $1,000. So if you choose the $1,000 option, that means you can get a $1,000 payout once a week. But if you choose the other option, you get a $5,000 payout once a week if you are able to take that much. But obviously with a 50K account, it's probably not the easiest to do that. But that's also per account, which you can have up to 5 accounts. So pretty good. Oh yeah, today's definitely not the day for dopamine hits. This is boring. Boring and choppy. Are you copy trading now? Just one account? Just one account, but then I switch between a couple of different accounts sometimes. Sometimes I'll trade like some different strategies on some other ones. That's what this other account, like the negative 76 is. That's from a different account. Took a small little trade. But I probably will copy trade once I get more accounts and stuff like that. But right now I just have a couple that I'm trading between. And I'm diversifying my risk instead of copy trading all of them. Just to keep my odds of getting payouts higher. I might not get as big of payouts, but I'm more likely to get a payout. And then I'll just scale and get more accounts as time goes on. Dang, long wick stopped me out. Yeah, I hate to hear it. Yeah, these guys we got some crazy wicks here in this little choppy area. I say run up a bag with one account, makes it more resourceful. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm kind of leaning towards. Like, kind of stick to one, maybe two. Keep it really simple. Just like scale up, get more size, build up the accounts. Copy trading is kind of, I mean, it's definitely dopamine hit. It's definitely like a niche kind of trendy thing, but I don't think it's the most resourceful. And cuboing today, yeah. Especially the last like 5 minutes, we've gone nowhere. The market might pick back up here in the next hour or so, but also it might be time to go get some lunch, chat. I normally don't trade this long. Well, we've been vibing, we've been chilling. This was a good trade. We got caught in the trap, the early entry, which normally works just fine. So can't complain too much. But it did work out later. Tempted to stick around, see if we make back this loss, but also definitely don't want to try my luck too much. The longer you're in the market, the more you're exposed to loss and risk. Oh, we got another Jeff as well. That's funny. Jeff's and Brandon's taking over. Would you see the value of copy trading those who have like 150k combines? Yeah, it depends on your goals. That's definitely what I'd say for that. It definitely has its place, but also there's definitely advantages to not copy trading as well. But like I said, I think it's time for me to go get some lunch. But I appreciate all you guys hanging out as always. All the questions, comments, conversations. It's always a good time. 18 new followers this stream. Thank you guys for all the new followers. If you are new and you enjoy, want to see me again, I'll be back tomorrow. Feel free to give me a follow or check out my YouTube, subscribe to me. Hey, I love you too, man. Thanks for joining the YouTube. I know it's a little quieter over there, but yeah, I did put the TikTok chat on there so you guys can still see it. So, since there's usually a little bit more going on there. But Jeff and Vizel Boomin, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Hopefully catch you guys tomorrow. Check out Funny Ticks as well. Good prop firm. Use my code. Get a nice discount and help support the channel. But I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.